Of course. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for the reminder to pay attention. My office is a dump. That's what I was really talking about, which is shocker, I know. That is such a regular occurrence now on this show. There is a solution coming, I promise. And it's pretty exciting stuff, actually. So, let's get on with today. I'm going to lower down our tunes real quick so that we can chat about some stuff. As you saw from the video, Color Matrix is out for our camera line. There is a little hiccup on the P200, but we're ironing that out right now, and we'll get that up to date. I'm going to talk about the in-term Band-Aid solution for what that P200 problem is, and then we can kind of move forward beyond that. So hopefully you can hear me all right, and we'll talk through things pretty shortly. A couple of fun announcements that I want you guys to be made aware of as well. So we're just going to wait, give a couple of minutes for folks to show up. I need to probably post this on the user group and let people know that we are up and running. A little earpiece keeps falling out. That's annoying. Yeah, where are we here? Okay, here we go. What should we say? Bird Dog Chat. Twitch.tv/BirdDogJohn. Cool. And let's throw a little QR code in here just for fun. Post. And run over to beta. And same thing. And post the QR code. And post. Giggity goo. Alright, that's up and running. Well, it has been a bright and early day for me, and with good reason. We are in the process of hiring some more support people for BirdDog, and primarily for the first function of answering your tickets, because there are lots of those, but more importantly, answering your tickets in a timely manner, because that is something that's important to us. And we're trying to keep up with our 48-hour threshold. And by we, I mean me, because right now I am pretty much the only one in the help desk. However, that is changing. And the first kind of big announcement that I'll repeat a few times during this show is that we've officially hired somebody in Europe to run support. And so he has started today. And for his first day of how can I say it? For his first experience with BirdDog, he's had to sit in about 4 hours of meetings with me. So we know that he's going to be worth his salt, because he's still with us and still wants to do the job. So that's exciting. No, he comes on. He's over in Europe, and his name is Tim, and he'll be hanging out with us pretty soon. I think he's going to hang out here kind of in the background for a couple of minutes as his day ends, just for him, because it's 4 o'clock over there right now. But the good news is for you European customers is that very soon we will have somebody who will be available to talk with you through tickets and get things kind of resolved through the help desk system. As many of you know, I am planning on changing the way that we do the help desk stuff, because there's a challenging way. The challenge with support is to be sure that you are efficient in assessing what the problems are. We don't just jump to certain conclusions about things. Like commonly, people have tested items and whatever, and they think that the unit is faulty when really it just needs to be formatted correctly, or something simple needs to be done. And so we want to help with that in a timely manner, but we also need to get the correct data quicker in the process. And so in order to do that, we need to tailor our ticketing system to capture that data right out of the gate, right as when you submit the ticket. And so we are not moving away from ticketing systems necessarily, but we're going to try and hone the system that we currently have, the process that we currently have. We're going to move to a new platform and utilize a web form for submitting official help for BirdDog support. So what that will do is it will have some required fields that you'll be able to just pick in drop down menus, and we'll get the snapshot of data that we really need before you create the ticket, which is great. That is going to speed things up, cut down on the questions that we have to ask when you open a ticket. Primarily like, make and model of the camera, firmware version that you're running, where are you located? Because one of the pieces, for example, that we want to do is we want people who are opening tickets in Europe and like around Europe to go to someone in Europe. And that would make the most sense, so that they're able to answer during business hours around the UK. So that would be good. Same thing goes for here in the States. We want to be sure that people are getting the support out of the US for US clients, primarily because we want to respond during US business hours, and we want to, if we need to make a local phone call or a long distance phone call, we're not calling across the pond, or if we need to get on a Zoom call, that people are awake and are available and are not sleeping or eating dinner or something like that. So we're trying to make it sustainable for BirdDog support, but also to give you a much better experience in terms of getting the correct data out of the ticketing system so that we can correctly and quickly resolve your issues. On top of all of that, we're really trying to create a system that will provide you the answers prior to needing to contact somebody at BirdDog themselves. So trying to create better proactive support. And one of those things is going to be a deeper but simpler knowledge database in terms of navigation. So you'll be able to hopefully, within 3 or 4 clicks, get to an article that will help you understand kind of why things are designed the way they are and what you can do about the current situation that you're in. And obviously, if it's a genuine issue, we want you to open a ticket and we can help you work through the problem or figure out a replacement or whatever that is. So when you buy a product, we don't actually charge you for additional support. There's not a monthly fee, and there's not, there's not any additional expectation that, yes, you have a ticket in, but you're not in a paid tier, and so we'll get to you when we get to you, and that sort of thing. It's all provided for you with the purchase price of the product. I don't know of any conversations to change that, so that's to your benefit as the client. But, however, we also have to manage your expectations for, everybody submits tickets, and so have to manage it a little bit in terms of what's realistic and making sure that you really get a resolution as quickly as you can. And honestly, if it's the difference between waiting around for 12 to 24 to 48 hours for a technician to respond, or going to a database article and finding out the information there within 10 or 15 minutes, you might choose to check out the article first and then ask questions if you still have some, and that would be great. I think that you'll find the support experience, hopefully the general questions about stuff will be covered, and then just the real complex stuff that takes a lot of time will need to be submitted. So that we're excited about. Mainly allow Google search engine indexing for the Freshdesk knowledge base. Still no index, no follows. Yeah, okay, so a couple of reasons for that. And first of all, we're not staying with Freshdesk. So that knowledge database is going to change. It's going to be an integrated web form with our website, but we're moving to a totally different program in terms of managing tickets, how things are done. It's going to allow us to use a web form. So Freshdesk is going to go away, and that will be, the goal is to get that done by the end of the year. So this whole new process by the time our technicians are hired and starting to handle, basic tickets, we'll be moved to a different system altogether. So Freshdesk is okay. They do fine. We actually use a fairly inexpensive version of their service, and we're moving to one that's a fair bit more expensive, and there's a lot more bells and whistles that'll be included in that. So as time goes along, we're hoping to obviously initially offer a good product to start, but make it better as time goes along, as BirdDog tends to do. We have a notorious track record of releasing a product but not making it final firmware right away, but allowing the firmware to kind of evolve and mature a little bit before we talk about discontinuing a product, which, by the way, no BirdDog products are currently discontinued. So, and I don't actually know of any plans of discontinuing any products as of right now. So, we support them. We believe in our products, and we want people to use them for, if you buy a product, it should work for the next 5 years. So we believe in that. We plan to support our products over that kind of arcing timeline, just like all technology. So there's also a shelf life of technology that you have to really, I understand it's hard to convince corporations, for example, to purchase technology that will expire. Laptops and computers are a great example of this, where we used to purchase a computer and, corporations used to purchase a computer and then they would use them for 10 years. You don't really make those purchases anymore, and if you are making that type of purchase and you're keeping technology around for 10 years, that is not what that piece of equipment is designed for. I don't really know of technology on the cutting edge of things that has a shelf life of 10 years. And so really, it's a product that you plan to use and use right now, and in a couple of years there'll be a better product out there that can do a lot more and can, higher resolutions or whatever for lower prices as that goes. That's how technology works. Like Apple, whether you love them or hate them, came out with a new line of computers that run their own silicone chips, and it's the same price as the previous ones, but it's, in theory, better processing power. Well, how do they do that? Well, it's because as technology ages, the older technology gets less expensive, and the newer technology ends up being we can make it the same price as what it was a few years ago. So it's an interesting model, and BirdDog plans to support their products. There will be a shelf life eventually, like all technology. I don't know what that is yet. Currently, nothing is discontinuing or anything like that. So there's lots to kind of talk about there, but when it comes to supporting a product, we really want you to be able to find the answers quickly. And waiting around for people to wake up and log into work and walk you through a TeamViewer session is a slow way of doing that, and in many respects is if it's just a small thing, if it's just a small conversation that needs to happen, well, maybe a simple way to just find those answers, that we post online. So we're hoping to create a knowledge database that's deep enough where you can get the answers to, easy to mid-level questions, and then really only need to contact support for genuine issues that are, seem to be faults, or maybe there's like network configuration stuff that you don't understand or whatever. But, there's lots to talk about there, I guess. That's the easy way to put it. And I'm sure we'll talk more about it in the future as things evolve. So, the big news, that we're bringing a guy on in Europe, and that is super exciting. His name is Tim, and I've just had 4 hours of meetings with him, and it didn't scare him away. And so I'm very excited that he's here, and I think he's going to do great, and I'm very excited to have him on board. We'll do a more formal introduction with him when he gets kind of set up. Today is his very first day, so welcome him with us, and you'll be seeing more from him in the future. So it's good stuff. We're excited, and I know my boy Phil is also very excited over there in Europe that now he has a tech guy, which he has been waiting for quite a while. Are we going to migrate support to another tool as well. Working full-time web developer for customer satisfaction measurement tool company. And we have now Boom about front app integration. Historically, it's Zendesk support, and now it's front end help scout. That's a tip and off topic. I admire anyone who's frontline support. I know that it's hard. Yeah. Yes. The support industry is not a place where you go to be complimented for your job. Support is the place where people are who have exhausted all of the options they know how to do. And so it's very important to understand that usually by the time people are asking for help, they've tried a bunch of stuff and are at a point of frustration or whatever. And so running a support desk where that's all you do all the time. Like, some people can handle a tech question, you know, like my apps aren't running correctly, and you can restart the phone for them, and then, oh man, you're great, you should work in IT. But quite frankly, people who are great at customer support, and not saying that I am, but people who are good at it, typically have a level of empathy that, you know, yes, it sounds like you've tried a lot of things. Let's see if we can't fix it, and if not, we'll figure out a solution for you. That's kind of the empathetic, you know, stance, and then moving on into like, let's see if we can figure this out together, and then hopefully coming to some sort of resolution. So, and then do that over and over and over and over all day, every day, for lots of days. And there's not a whole lot of, you know, patting on the back, or there's not a whole lot of people singing your praises. That's not the nature of the job. The job is, like, let's get this working, and then people are happy that it's working, and then it's on to the next thing. So I was, you know, reminded briefly about how that works, and, you know, the nature of customer support. And frontline is rough work, man. Like, it can be tough. And you're dealing with people all the time. So, but it has its rewards, and it definitely is not going to ever go out of business. So, never have to worry about not having work to do. That's for sure. If you're good with people and you're technically minded, you can make good money in this industry, because that is the nature of the business. There will always be a demand. Hey, thanks for joining us, folks. My folks over on Facebook and YouTube, my personal lines, I appreciate that. I see you guys hanging out over there, and that's fun. Got a handful of people already here in Twitch, so that's pretty cool for early in the show. Thanks for jumping on. Let me know what questions you have, what's going on in your NDI world. Happy to talk general network configurations. I'm happy to talk about BirdDog in, you know, particular. I have pretty much every product now except for the A200 sitting in my office. Oh, and I don't have a working P4K in my office. I have one, but it's not functioning correctly. So I can walk you through pretty much anything that we have, and some of the hypothetical things, so we can go down that road if you'd like. What can we do to submit tickets today? You can email me at help@bird-dog.tv, which is this email address right here. And that will help you open a ticket, and that will open an avenue to me, and I can get in touch with engineers, and that's guys over on in the Australian time zone if I can't answer it for you. So that is where that happens today. That will change next year, but right now that's the setup. Bugzeek, I have not seen your ticket. Hang up. There has been a lot of activity, and we admittedly have spent a couple of days trying to prep and get ready to bring on some new employees, and so some of these tickets have not been looked at as quickly as I normally look at them. I am planning on spending the majority of the afternoon, apart from a couple other meetings. Let's see. I've got 2 other meetings that I have on the schedule, and I'm spending the rest of the time answering tickets and that sort of thing. So That's the plan. Oh, Sherman, thank you. That's so nice. I take a little pride in that, so thank you for saying that. That is appreciated. Beep chirp. What is going on? Everybody, welcome back. Beep chirp. He is our all-time gifted sub member. He has given 42 subscriptions to other people to this channel in a sign of generosity. So he gets an honorable mention here, right below my face, over here. And he's fun to have around. And he does a lot of stuff with the NDI world, so let's see what he's up to. Finally have enough time with the newer firmware on the P100. I have a couple of curious occurrences. All right, let me have them. I'll fire up my P200. How about that? Oh, P100. Here we go. She's coming online right now. Love and value the show. P200 question. What parameters save when the preset is saved? Okay, so coloration is saved, and pan-tilt zoom location, obviously, and focal length is saved. So, like, focus level. You can turn off the coloration stuff so that it's only location and zoom and focus by going into the OSD and turning off preset memory. By default, it's set to on. I believe it's on the system menu, the P200. So if you go to the OSD, back up, go to the web UI of your camera, go over to the PTZ tab, and at the bottom there's a submenu that says OSD. If you click on that, you're going to get an OSD like directional button pad. Click on off, click up, which will take you to the bottom of the list, and highlight system and click right, I believe, a right button. That will take you into the system submenu, and inside here there will be a selection that says preset memory, and by default it will say on. And you can change that by going down to it and then clicking right, and it will switch it from on to off, and then click on off, that on off button at the top of the PTZ menu on the web UI. Click that a few times to back out, and then resave your presets. And that will only record on the onboard memory of the camera. That will only record the PTZ location of the Motorhead. So if you don't want to save the coloration settings, and you want to like you're going to have changing colors on stage, for example, you don't want to save the color, the white balance and all that stuff, and you want to let like the camera head run in auto or in manual mode, for example, like maybe your lighting is going to change and you don't want the iris to open way up, you can turn off those memory presets there. Hopefully that's helped, Saint Mini. Is it Saint Mini? Like Bird Dog Mini? Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for coming by. Beep chirp. So sometimes the black and white mode just randomly turns on mid-service. This is on the P100, you said? What's your baseboard firmware? And you're running obviously the latest firmware, right? Did you verify that the baseboard? Well, you have to. Nothing is mapped, right? Like there's no keyboard button, no shortcut, nothing that's mapped to the black-white function. No preset call, just using the camera and suddenly it's in black and white mode. Okay, so make sure that the baseboard is running 019 and make sure that you're running the latest firmware, which I'm assuming you are. I don't have any... Okay, two questions. The first is what's going on, iPhone? How's it going? Welcome back. My apologies for my crunchy cereal. I'm out of coffee though, and that's a whoa. Oh well, I wasn't out of coffee, but it's stone cold. Been a busy morning. All right, so do me a favor. On the OSD of the P100 Beep Chirp, on the OSD, go and verify that the black-white function is listed as off on the OSD. And then go into the web UI and toggle it on and then off. There have been, in the past, there's been reported issues where for some reason the OSD setting is listed as on and then it gets turned off on the web UI. And the way that the new firmware is communicating is we're actually I might shoot myself in the foot for saying this, but we're actually prepping to somehow provide continual communication, because Cam Control 2.0 requires like talkback. So when you change a setting on the web UI, it should change in Cam Control. And one of the things that we've noticed as a side effect is the constant checking of the settings to enable that talkback between those surfaces is that sometimes it will randomly change one of the values back to whatever the default is on the OSD. And so if the black and white is set on the OSD, and I can actually boot up my P100 here. Let's guys, let's jump over here to my desktop real quick. There it is. All right, so we're going to be inside of... Oh, that's a terrible shot. Harry, you're alive, and you're a horrible shot. So let's zoom this around. There's my cold cup of coffee. And there I am. Wow, this white balance is wicked off right now. Okay, so let's have a little... let's check out what it is that we're looking at here. So I'm going to put this over here. Oh. Okay. Then I'm going to click on this one. And I'm going to bring this over here. Whoops. There we go. All right, let's walk through this together. So I'm going to log into my P100 and... Not now, LastPass. Let's check out what's going on here. So yeah, it appears that these coloration values I did not set. So something happened there. And let's check out the white balance. Okay, so it's been stuck in manual, which I did not do. And the exposure is stuck in manual as well. So this is pretty warm, but we know that the P100 is a warmer image than the P200, and certainly my M50. Lower the... Oh, whoops. This should be set to 0. Let's just go through some of these things here. Picture settings. Gamma, that's 0. 888, that's correct. Noise reduction, this could probably come down a shade. Same with the sharpness. And color matrix down the middle. Alright, so since this is on auto, I'm going to change this to outdoor. Oh, that really didn't do anything. ATW, maybe? I need to... Anyway, this is kind of besides the point, by the way. So we go to PTZ, we go to OSD. I should have shown this to Saint Mini. So we click on, and here is the sub-menu. We click up, and this is where you're going to go to turn off preset memory. See right there, preset memory? I'm going to highlight that and turn that to off, and then any preset you save after the fact is going to... Oh, hey, how's it going? So here it is. Any preset that you save now after the fact is going to only save position location. So FYI, that's how that's done. That's what it should look like at least. And I just click the right button, turn that on. All right, let's get out of this menu. All right, so our it's under the picture settings, I believe. Yeah. So here, PTZ, OSD. Let's go to picture 1. Not there. Oh, wait, is it under effect? Black, white, yeah, okay. So make sure that effect is set to off. I wonder if we do this. See, okay. This is that two-way communication thing that I'm talking about. This should not turn on its own, obviously. And if we click it off here... Ah. This stays... Let's get out of this menu and come back in. Effect off, so it just didn't refresh the menu. So this AV setting here is changing the root of that. It actually is changing the OSD, but... Oh, there it goes. Why didn't it... Hang on. Okay, so it is updating it live. Well, that's very interesting. That's cool. I mean, that's what I want it to do, right? No preset, just using camera. Suddenly it goes black and white mode. How are you calling these images? Are you, like, what are you using to... Beep Chirp, what are you using? Is it vMix? Is it... Give me a little more context about what else is going on the network. Anytime, Sherman. My pleasure. Thanks for joining us today, folks. I really appreciate it. I got a good group of people in here, and there's 10 of you in here. We're halfway through already, which is crazy. I'm eating my breakfast because I had a super early morning this morning, and I was introduced to one of our new support agents in Europe. So if you weren't here for that announcement, thumbs up. We're super excited that we have a guy in Europe. His name is Tim. You are going to hear more from him. Hear more from Tim pretty soon. So that'll be fun. And for those of you over in Europe, there's somebody in your time zone or closer to you than me. So that's really exciting because as time goes along, support is only going to get better with him on board. So I'm excited, and I think he's the right guy for the job. So we're ready to bring him up to speed. Now this camera, the funny thing about this camera, this is an RMA camera that I ended up just replacing, and the reason is that when I put the OSD on, sometimes it phases out of focus, which is weird. I don't know how to fix that. But that is what happens. That is a great image, though. I don't know what they did. I haven't played around with it enough, but this firmware update, I just feel like the images are so sharp. Like, they're better than they were. And that's not just me fanboying. That's like... I don't know, even the P200. Check this out. So this is the P200, right? You can see the difference here. But, like, I don't know if that's translating very well over Twitch. It's a little busy. I haven't done anything with this image, but, man, it's just, like... I feel like the baseboard update gave us so much more definition. Check out those two images, eh? So, like... talking about blacks, like this is the difference between a $3,000 camera and a camera that's $1,500. PTZ moving, you know, lots of control, great lens, amazing for conference rooms and that sort of stuff. But if you're into broadcasting, man, this is, I think the P200 has set like a standard across the NDI broadcasting realm. It's awesome. The guys really did really well, and I'm more excited too for the P400 because although it's a little more expensive, it just gives you so much more to work with. So, I mean, as you go up in product line, you get more features and better images. And the P400, the advantage there is it's the same form factor as the P200, so they look identical. But one of them is a 4K sensor. So, it's pretty cool. Who knew? vMix is switching, using the PTZ keyboard to control the cameras. So it just randomly... Okay, so, well... Could be a couple things going on there. I know that they're working on a keyboard update. I wonder if the new protocol for how it talks to the board is interfering with the old keyboard firmware, but I couldn't confirm that or deny that. There may be something there, but I don't know. Anyways, I feel like the company hasn't said it, Bird Dog hasn't said it, but the P100 and the P200 are totally different cameras. There have been people on Facebook that are like, oh, they're from the same company, so I thought the picture would be the same. It's like, even between $10,000 Canon cameras, you know, the images are different. That may just be like a lack of exposure to actual, like, the camera industry, but no, the P100 and the P200 are different cameras, and quite frankly, are designed for different applications. So, anyway. Picture might be in preview, might not even be in preview, it just suddenly turns black and white. Yeah, it sounds like it's getting a command to change that, right? Like, cameras shouldn't just have a life of their own, so they should receive a command from some control surface that would push it that. And I wonder if something in vMix is like communicating incorrectly, or if something in the old keyboard protocol might be tripping it. I don't know. P100 isn't Sony lens chip. Correct. I have a quick question. Can I simply connect... Hey, Smith. How's it going? If you don't know, by the way, I purposely butcher your usernames because I find it better than trying to get them correct. So, and saying S. Smith is a mouthful. So Smith it is. I have a quick question. Can I simply connect my P400 camera to the joystick controller directly? No. With a Cat6 cable that came with a package. When I move my joystick, the message on the board says LF off and UD off. Great question. All right. So, you all heard that question. No. The controller and the camera are not... they're not talking over IP. All right? This isn't something that's like the keyboard is looking for IP commands and you just got to plug in a camera that's asking for IP commands and you can control it. NDI is a network device interface. That's the whole purpose, which means two things. First, it's broadcasting a very specific type of protocol. And two, it's looking for a real network. And some of these guys, I know Beep Chirp's heard this before, but we say this all the time. You have to have a real network, and half of the game with NDI, buy a beautiful 4K camera, but you got to have a network to support it, something proper. So what I mean by that is, gosh, and I've been really tempted to get a video out on this, but my office is not in a state that I feel like I should be recording anything. What I mean by that is it needs to be a managed network by a router, a proper one, and probably in DHCP because of packet control and transfer. It needs to have proper routing table, which means that your switch needs to be a layer 2, and you need to have adequate cabling and power. So if you're planning on powering the P400, for example, over PoE, got to have enough wattage for that. And if you are wanting to, yeah, good point, Sherman. Well, I'll go there in a second. If you're wanting to use the NDI protocol to control the camera, then you need to have the NDI network. Okay. Sherman makes a good side point. He says, what about using RS422? Yes. Okay. In theory, you can power the keyboard, plug in Power the keyboard. Okay. And you can plug in your Ethernet cable to the RS422 port on the, it's actually one of these two. So you plug it in here. The pins on this keyboard, I believe, are the same on the P400. However, I have not tested this yet. They, so the 422 ports, then you would add the camera manually using the VISCA protocol, not VISCA IP, VISCA protocol. Yeah, this wasn't a smart idea. VISCA and VISCA IP are two different things. They operate differently. They don't talk to each other, but they're kind of called the same thing. So it's kind of like NDI and NDI-HX. Anyway, I digress. So you can plug it into the 422 port, and then you can add the camera manually. There are a couple things you're going to need to know for that. The first is you're going to need to know the baud rate of the camera. And to do that, we can go to setting. No, where are we? Where is it? I haven't actually had to use this on the new interface. PTZ speed, select. Okay, so it must just be on the OSD menu then. So here, probably system. Okay. So, oh no, it doesn't have it here though. NDI networking is so much better. Yes, you can use it. Here, let me fire this thing up. If I can find a cable. Here we go. Okay. So, I use NDI on mine, so plug this in and she lights up. And let's see if I can get this to talk. See if I can get the P100 to talk over 422. So I will power the P100 with just straight up DC. I will unplug the network portion of the camera, and then I'm going to plug this, which is plugged directly into the camera. Oh, see you later. I'm going to plug this into the RS422A port. All right, now setup. Oh, let's switch this over to another camera so you can continue to see what I'm doing. All right, put in my password for the setup, and this is on my lap, so this isn't ideal. Okay, here we go. And there's my. All right, so it's gonna be hard to see this, but anyways, we do setup. We do camera settings. I'm going to scroll over to, let's say, well, camera 3. It doesn't really matter about the title. Change the protocol to VISCA and hit the LR direction knob. The baud rate, I believe by default, is 9600. And the port is, you can select 422 or 232. So we can change that to whatever we want. I'm going to click the UD direction knob, and then I'm going to click exit, 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 all the way out. Okay, so now it says that the P100 is connected via 422. Can I, oh, camera 3. Baud rate might actually be 3600. All right, let's try that. Or 3840, sorry. Let's see. The other thing I know is that on the P100, it is different than the P200. So, oh, I know why. So we need to change the ID of the camera to camera 3. Because that's what this is. So, beep chirp 422 is always a fascinating beast. Yeah, and I don't do it enough because my primary concern is NDI. So, let's take a look at the bottom of the camera real quick. I'll try and share this with you as well. This is why you come here, for the adventure. All right, so Visca address is set. This is Visca 3. So let's just see what we can do here. Oh, that's fun. Switch 6 on for 422. And Visca address 1 through 3. I don't know if that's correct or not. So there's some dip switches on the bottom. And I'm pretty sure you have to restart this puppy. And then I'm pretty sure you have to recall it as well. So let's go up here. Can you see it or are you blocked? You're blocked somehow. Alright, well, whatevs. So, 3 cam. Pretty sure the baud rate is wrong now. That's also set on the bottom, by the way. Nothing. I probably did that. Are the 400s GA now, or are they still in like limited release? Oh, they are. It's hard to say. They're in stock, but all of our products are kind of like limited edition right now. 400s are being delivered. Like I've serviced a couple of them, so they are out there. I would say that they're GA at this point, but yeah, I know why. Probably help if I use the Visca port. Problem with setting this up for Visca is that you have to see, you have to hook this up to like an HDMI monitor or something, you know. So that's kind of a frustrating. Just to get to it. Let's see. Oh, here. Switch 7 and 8. Off, on. That's what it's set at. So 9600. I think my Visca address is wrong, though. Thanks a lot, Sherman. It sent me down this rabbit hole. Alright, let's change this to camera 1. Because that's what it's all set at. Camera 1. Set it to Visca. Well, this is going to be something I'm going to have to experiment with, apparently, because I can't sort it out. And I'm probably just doing something silly, so. Do you have a video on your website that would walk me through setting up the 400 camera and keyboard for those who have no clue what they're doing? Yes. That's on the knowledge database. It's called Keyboard Initial Setup. And I will link it for you right here to show you how to do that. We have a lot of answers on our knowledge database, by the way, everybody. So if you are curious, you have questions, hit us up and check out, because that is our go-to all the time. So here you go. Yoink. I mean, it might, but you could always try to use a non-Visca port and see how it goes. Do you need a rollover? No. The 422, actually, at least for the P200, which I could test right now. Get out of there. For the P200, yoink. Yeah, so this is over at 422 right now. Boy, it's not as responsive though. Good golly. Gee. I might need to set the parameters on this a little bit. So that was just as easy as plugging it in, by the way. So I had everything set up, camera 1, and then it was set to RS422. Plugged it into the RS422 port over Ethernet. It's not a crossover, it's just a standard cable. And it's up and running. Like, no problem. Baud rate, I knew the baud rate on that one was 9600, and I know that the IP, or the ID is 1, so pretty straightforward. The best way for knowledge transfer is to hang out here with John. But you gotta do it in the voice. So the best way to hang out, though, no, the best way for knowledge transfer is to join me on Twitch twice a week from 11 to 12 Eastern Time, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Shameless plug, right? All right. Good stuff. Well, thanks. Thanks for that rabbit hole there, Sherman. Appreciate that. How nice of you. And for those of you hanging out in other platforms and whatever else is going on here, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We've got some big changes coming up. And so, pretty excited. Pretty excited about those changes because I think they're for your benefit. And you slayed that. But yeah, if there's some good stuff happening here at Bird Dog, so we're excited about that. I'm not too sure. Wow, this restream is way behind, and this just fell. So yeah, cool things are happening, and I hope that you're excited. We are working on that P200 firmware fix. If you need to downgrade to 3.3, which it was the last stable one, I actually have a copy that I think you can downgrade to without needing to do much with the baseboard. There actually might be a baseboard update to allow you to go to that, so yeah, let me know. Firmware fix. Yeah, people are just reporting the black-white flip. There's an image flip process for cameras that are mounted upside down, and for some reason it randomly unflips the picture. So I'm thinking that's probably gonna be this week because it's a pretty big one. But they're looking at that right now and getting it ironed out. So one minor issue with the update, and it only affects like a handful of folks who have them mounted upside down. So cam flip? Yes. The cam flip problem. Is this news to everybody? I felt like this was highly publicized on our Facebook user group. Highly publicized. Some people don't use Facebook, yeah. Some people, if you'd even call them that. I knew that was coming. It's good stuff. That's why you should have a Discord user group. Here we go. Yes, we are, Sherman, that's a confirmed bug, and we're squashing it now. So it shouldn't be too long. Yeah. You people in your Discord. You think I have time to sit around on Discord and answer additional questions? Come on. Unless Beep Chirp is going to be the unofficial Bird Dog support, I'll answer questions person. You may not like his answers, but he might answer. What's an invite code? Let people help each other. Okay. All right. All right. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. What will it take to get this up and running so that Beep Chirp will stop getting after me? That's funny. Well done. All right. All right, so Beep Chirp already has this set up. So am I allowed to invite people to this? This is still an unofficial, unsupported Bird Dog user group, and I fully support that statement. Oh, I noticed the name. Don't you worry. What's really funny is there's no welcome and there are no rules. Verify. Oh, people emailing me directly. Oh boy. Send. Okay. Add a friend, add a username. No. I need to get like a link. Is this the link that you just shared right here? This Discord link? Alright, let's get this on Nightbot. Alright, cool. Then this is the unofficial Bird Dog page for Discord. Look what you did. Add a timer. There we go. Done. Let's see if it'll do it. Nope. Oh well. It'll automate. the alias you submitted for this command is not... Yeah, it's here, for crying out loud. Oh, boy. Alright. Create a new command. Check out our knowledge database. All right, now let's try this. Well, for crying out loud. This is maddening. It shouldn't be this difficult, Nightbot. Alright, let's try this again. Let's clean this up first. Delete. Twitter. One more time. Hey! And this is primarily being brought out of the Twitch channel, by the way, which is also an unofficial support channel. Everything I do is unofficial. I want that. I want that on a shirt. That would be awesome. Cool stuff. All right, well, the unofficial Bird Dog Discord is now up and running, so feel free to hit the link and join us over there for after hours chat. But to get an education in how useful Discord might be. Alrighty, well, the magic hour is here, and we need to pack it up because I've got other meetings that I'm going to actually be getting into here today. I got a couple more, but this has been fun. Thanks, guys, and I will be in touch with you again on Thursday this week. We're going to be doing another show. Of course, this is December, so there is some time this month where the help desk is closed. And I'm going to be announcing that here on the show, but also adding it to the ticket auto response, just as a heads up that the support desk will be closed a few days prior to Christmas and then in through the new year. So we will be giving you a heads up about that. Be sure you get your questions before then. Welcome my new friend Tim, who is going to be helping me out over in Europe and really is going to be helping us broaden the scope of what we do support-wise. It's nice to talk to somebody about all of that sort of stuff that goes on in my head, and me being a party of one gets a little lonely. So he got 4 hours of that today, which I think he is now officially done and can take the rest of the day. But we're excited that he's on board and that's going to be great for Bird Dog, and we hope great for him. So looking forward to that. We will see you guys on Thursday at 11 Eastern Time. Please come and hang out with us. I really appreciate you guys hanging out in the chat today. Had a good group of people talking and carrying on and doing all sorts of fun stuff. We have unofficially updated the Discord channel to now being the one that Beep Chirp put together for me because I was apparently too lazy to do that, and so I will join that. It appears that I have been turned into an admin, and so that's fun. Let's figure out what this is all about, and so the conversation can continue there. I can finally say that, but yeah, conversation can continue over on Discord if you'd like to keep chatting or use that as a channel. I'm gonna figure out a way to keep an eye on it, but that's an unofficial support channel. If you want official Bird Dog support, hit me up at help@bird-dog.tv. Be happy to try and give you a hand there. Take care of yourselves, guys. Really appreciate you, and we will see you near the end of the week. Cheers, guys. It's been great. Appreciate it.